What's up, everybody? It's AJ with etrailer.com. Today we're going to be checking out the Curt Rockerball 2 5/16 ball. Now, I got two different versions here. They have two different size threads at the bottom. So this one's going to be an inch and this one's going to be 1.25 inches. But what the Rockerball does is it's going to be a shock absorbing ball mount. So when you put it in the mount and get it set up, put your trailer, all that weight coming down here, as it shifts, it's going to move this part back and forth. It's going to rock back and forth, absorbing that shock, and that way you don't feel it in your truck. So there's not going to be push forward in your truck. You're not going to feel it while you're steering. It's going to even all that out. Now, since we're just working with the ball, you're going to have to get your own mount. The one we have today has 1 inch in diameter for your ball, so the inch one's going to work just fine. The 1.25 inch one's not going to fit, as you can see there. So just make sure you got the right ball mount with the right ball when you go to order them. There is going to be a slight difference in weight. So this one's going to be able to handle 7,500 and this one's going to be able to handle 12,000 gross trailer weight. So just keep that in mind again when you're thinking about what you're towing and what you need to go with the ball mount, because I want to make sure you get the right one when you go to order it. So I'll go ahead and set up our inch one now. Let me get the pieces so I can show you here. We're going to have a plate that goes down, and see these tabs go down towards the ball mount, and that's going to keep that movement down. So then we go put this in there, and that helps just keep it on track. We're going to add our lock washer at the bottom and our nut. I'm just going to go by hand for right now, and then you'll want to come back and torque it down nice and tight. That way it's on there. What it's going to do is it's going to add some movement to when you're hooked up to your trailer. So let's say you're hooked up to your trailer, you do a sudden start and stop. That trailer weight's going to push against the vehicle and you're going to feel it. Well, this actually goes forward and backwards, so it absorbs that shock. So the ball is actually going to move forward and back. That way it doesn't transfer to the ball mount or to the hitch or up to the steering wheel where you're driving. So you're not going to feel that when you're driving. It's going to be less noisy too. See how much the ball moves back and forth instead of the shank. We didn't even feel it in the truck. Like I said, there wasn't any, you didn't feel it in the steering wheel. We weren't being pushed forward or pulled backwards. It was all happening right here, and it looked pretty cool in the footage. We are using the anti-rattle kit with it, and it works really good with this. So you have the movement in the ball here, but the anti-rattle device keeps any movement here in the shank. So this is gonna move or bounce back and forth like it normally did. If you didn't have anti-rattle, there was no noise coming from here whatsoever. So all that movement would be here. Nothing transfers here. That means nothing's gonna transfer up front. Something else I like is the Zerk fitting here at the bottom. That way you can add grease whenever you need to. And because if you want to invest something like this, you want it working for a long time, and adding grease when you need to can keep it working like it did the very first time you used it. It's made out of a heavy duty construction. You got a black powder coat finish here. So that's going to hold up to the elements. You don't have to worry about rust or corrosion. And then you have the chrome plated steel ball. Same thing. You're not going to have to worry about if you do leave it in your hitch back of your truck. The elements aren't going to get to it. It's not going to rust and get all nasty down the road. When talking about a shock absorbent ball, there is another option out there. That's the Convertible. It's going to do the same thing, absorbing that shock, just a little bit differently though. It's going to absorb it here in the shank, so the movement's going to be here instead of out here at the ball. Now that eliminates the use of an anti-rattle device, which is kind of a negative for me because I really like how well they work together with the rocker. But if that's something you want to get, just know that you cannot use the rocker ball with the Convertible ball mount. They don't work together. So you have to get one or the other, but I really prefer the rocker just because the movement's here and the anti-rattle works out really nicely. Overall, I was really impressed with it. We took it out on the road, not only in the parking lot, but on the highway, and it really did absorb that shock that I was looking for it to do. I was actually pretty surprised it did. I didn't feel anything while I was driving. There wasn't a bunch of movement or being pushed in the truck when I did sudden stops or anything. So it's gonna work as a regular ball mount and help for those heavy duty situations just to absorb that shock. Well, I think that does it. Thanks for hanging out, and I hope this helped.